Weedy is a 6-star push stroker specialist who's available from both headhunting and recruitment. Why does she have access to an industrial strength water cannons and liquid nitrogen? Also, I am currently looking for a writer to write a summary of episode 8 of Arknights for me. I will be paying the person who does it $115 as well as crediting them in the video with the possibility of a tip if the script is good enough in my opinion. If you are interested in writing for me, please check the community tab of my YouTube page as I have all the details there. Weedy has 3 years of combat experience and has been a bioengineering expert for Rhodes Island since its establishment, working under closure. She stands at 155 centimeters tall, was born on the 23rd of January in Iberia, and is of the Aegir's race, specifically a leafy sea dragon. In her archive files and promotion record, it's noted that Weedy is a scientist and a neat freak. She normally is never seen in public, and when talking to operators who are untidily dressed, she will point it out and expect it to be fixed immediately, or else she ends the conversation. Because of this, Closure, Weedy's immediate supervisor, has difficulty lifting her head when talking to Weedy, which is a rare thing to see from Closure. Weedy's specialization, bioengineering, has only emerged in the scientific field recently. By combining biological theory and engineering experience, scientists are in a better position to solve various problems like oropathy inhibitors. When competing for talent, however, Rhodes Island is at a disadvantage compared to other research companies such as Rhinelab due to Rhodes Island being mobile, treating oropathy, researching originum, and having some ulterior motives. Despite this, Closure's engineering department still has a large amount of talent, with the bioengineering department being led by Weedy. When people join Rhodes, they find the sight of a bioengineer from Iberia to be strange. Firstly, Iberia is blocked off from the rest of the world. Secondly, though only rumors, Iberia is seen as backwards and xenophobic. In reality, despite the relationship with Laterano and Aegir, Iberia is conditionally friendly to science. In Iberia, scientists are allowed to do whatever research they please, as long as it isn't banned, with bioengineering being one such field that's allowed. Though it may seem like Weedy is taking shelter in Rhodes from Iberia, she simply no longer wanted to stay in Iberia and wanted to see the world. There were no barriers to her leaving either, and got an offer from Rhodes shortly before Rhinelab. Those who study Originum find themselves at odds with other researchers as they can't understand why they study the same subject but hate infected people. In the past, experimenting on the infected wasn't considered immoral whatsoever, and even now there are those who study the infected with the intention of proving that they're inferior or deserving of death. Even in Rhodes, there are researchers who overcame their fear of the infected but still treat them unkindly. But there are people like Weedy who help them regardless, and only ask them to be tidy in return. Compared to other Aegirians, Weedy's physicality is at odds with them. She passed most of the operator exams, but spent 3 months before she was even able to pass the physical component. Outside of physical strength and endurance, she's fairly normal, and even healthier than other operators with a regimented routine and attention to hygiene. Weedy is confirmed to be non-infected, having a cell originum assimilation of 0% and a blood originum crystal density of 0.12 parts per liter. There's a note from Gaviel that says if Weedy can still get infected despite her protective measures, then life on Terra can't persist. In her character art drawn by Shimono-kun, Weedy wears a gray, black, and yellow hooded dress with an offset zipper, transparent plastic near the bottom, partially detached sleeves, a triangle pattern on the sleeves and front, an angle zipper, black hood, pouch on the upper left arm, and straps. A headband and hair accessories, a strap on her upper left thigh, 2 near her ankles, black work boots, and a black glove on her right hand. Behind her is her liquid nitrogen cannon, which she has on a strap around her body. To her right is her reserve water cannon, and to her left is Leaf, the bionic sea dragon. In her voice lines, voiced by Maria Naganawa, who also voices Akana Kamui in Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Komeko and Konosuba, Platelet in Cells at Work, Laffy in Azure Lane, Nazuna Hiwatashi in B&A, Celia in Don't Hurt Me My Healer, Sig MCX in Savage 99 in GFL, Natsu Yutori in Blue Archive, Mary Anning in FGO, and Biscuit in Nikkei, Weedy often talks about research and cleanliness.
戻ったらちょっと機材の設定を見直す。 次は繰り返さない。高額の力を甘く見ないで。ドクターの部屋って意外と綺麗だね。いいんじゃない？ここ、掃除してあるんでしょうね。はじめまして。私はロドスのエンジニア部門所属のウィーディ。ドクターのことは前からよく聞いてるの。これからよろしくね。あ、握手なら手袋をしてるこの右手でお願い。水は生活の中心。クロージャとも浄水システムの改善について話したけど、私の研究が役に立てばいいなと思ってる。そうすれば、私も水道水の汚れを心配しなくて済むから。このシードラゴンのリーフ、一族に代々伝わるモチーフを原型に作ったの。戦闘のサポート以外に、普段の手伝いもよくしてくれる。水を注いだり、重いものを持ってもらったりとか。そろそろグラウコスと約束した自動化エンジニアリングの実験の時間だけど、ドクターも興味あれば来る？この高等作戦資料は作戦状況に基づいてまとめたもの。今後のためにもちゃんと目を通しておいて。それから完成させたい作戦実験もいくつかあるから、それも付き合って。ドクターなら断ったりしないでしょ。たまには息抜きにパフューマーさんの庭に行くこともあるよ。あそこの香りは人を心の底からリラックスさせるし、研究の疲れを和らげるには最適だから。今度ドクターも一緒に行く？一人でシードラゴンと喋ってなんかいないから。名前つけてるのは他の子と区別するためってだけだし。こうやってお世話になっているうちに、ドクターのいる生活にも慣れてきた。グラウコスや研究者仲間の他に、こんな人ほとんどいないよ。
At E2 with everything maxed, Weedy has 2,483 HP, 794 attack, 439 defense, 0 resistance, a 66-second redeploy time, 19 DP cost, 2 block, and a 1.1 second attack speed. Her range is the standard range of a pusher specialist. At max trust, she gets plus 45 to attack and defense. At max pot, she gets minus 2 DP, minus 4 seconds to redeploy, plus 8 attack speed, and plus 140 max HP. Her first talent, which is unlocked at E1 and upgraded at E2, Industrial Water Cannon, allows the player to deploy a reserve water cannon that lasts for 20 seconds, with the cannon being able to attack one target and push it away slightly. The cannon, at max level, has the range of the 3 tiles in front of it: 100 HP, 585 attack, 100 defense, 0 resistance, a 35-second redeploy time, 5 DP cost, 2.4 second attack speed, and is invulnerable. If Weedy uses her S3 and the cannon is within 4 tiles of Weedy, the cannon will also use S3. Her second talent, which is unlocked at E2, Upgraded Water Cannon, increases the shift level of the water cannon's normal attacks and skills by 1, with Weedy restoring 1 SP per 3 seconds if the cannon is within 4 tiles of her. Weedy has one base skill, which is upgraded from Automaton Beta to Bionic Sea Dragon at E2. Bionic Sea Dragon, when Weedy is assigned to a factory, the productivity of other ops in the same factory becomes 0, excluding the productivity granted based on facility account, but each power plant increases the factory's productivity by plus 15%. Weedy's first skill, Barrel Burst, gains SP over time and is automatically triggered. All levels start with 0 SP, with level 7 needing 6 SP to proc and M3 needing 5. At level 7, the next attack pushes the target towards Weedy's attack direction moderately, force of 1, dealing 135 attack as physical damage and stuns them for 0.9 seconds. At M3, it pushes significantly, force of 2, deals 150% physical damage, and stuns for 1.2 seconds. Her second skill, Hydraulics Mode, gains SP over time and is automatically triggered, having an unlimited duration at all levels. All levels start with 0 SP, with level 7 needing 78 SP to proc, and M3 needing 70. At level 7, Weedy's attack interval increases, she gets plus 170% attack and plus 1 range, and her attacks now become a long-range AoE attack, with attacks pushing enemies away slightly. At M3, it's plus 200% attack, plus 2 tiles of range, and enemies are pushed away moderately. Her third skill, Liquid Nitrogen Cannon, gains SP over time and is manually triggered, as well as having a range of the 4 tiles in front of her or her reserve cannon. At level 7, it starts with 16 SP and needs 37 to proc, while M3 starts with 20 and needs 33. At level 7, Weedy immediately fires her compressed liquid nitrogen cannon, dealing 328% arts damage in her range and pushing enemies away significantly. For 6 seconds, enemies hit by her S3 take true damage proportional to the distance they were pushed. If the reserve cannon is within 4 tiles of Weedy, it will also proc this ability. At M3, it's 350% arts damage, pushing away enemies greatly. For 8 seconds, enemies take true damage. Weedy has a POS-X module called Modified Bionic Sea Dragon, making it so that when Weedy is deployed on a ranged tile, she returns half her DP cost. At module level 3, Modified Bionic Sea Dragon buffs Upgraded Water Cannon, making it so that if the reserve cannon is within 4 tiles of Weedy, she gets plus 20% attack along with the other buffs. To unlock and max out her module, you must have Weedy at E2 level 60, have 100% trust with her, deal a total of 100,000 damage with Weedy, 3-star Break the Ice BI-5, deploying Weedy and having no other specialist ops in your team, have 12 module data blocks, 60 data patching strips, 20 data patching devices, 2 polymerization preparations, 3 bipolar nanoflakes, 4 D32 steels, and 300,000 LMD. Weedy is quite the good way of pushing enemies if you don't mind a few things. First, the pros. Like every pusher, Weedy can be deployed on ranged and ground tiles, and can push up to 2 enemies. All of her skills push enemies away from Weedy in some way or another, which, if they're in front of a pit, can kill them, or at least stall them. Her S1 is similar to Shaw's, where it's a one-and-done push before needing to recharge. S2 is more for consistent pushing, albeit at a slower rate and weaker push strength, and her S3 has a long range, can push multiple enemies, dealing arts damage to those who are hit, and true damage based on how far they were pushed. Not to mention, she has a water cannon, which is basically another version of her, and the water cannon can use S3 and can achieve the highest push force of 4 at M3 and with her second talent. The cannon can also give Weedy SP and an attack buff if it's within 4 tiles of her, which is pretty generous. However, at 19 DP, she's much more expensive to deploy compared to Shaw or Feeder. As mentioned before, her S2 slows her attack speed and weakens her push strength. The water cannon removes itself after 15 to 20 seconds, and is really most effective if you spend the resources to get Weedy's S2 and S3 to M3. The water cannon, if you're using her S3, doesn't proc if there's no enemies in range, so you really need to time the push or else you'll waste it. Overall, I'd give Weedy a medium priority to build, as she is good, but there are cheaper and more broadly applicable options such as Shaw, and you really need to heavily invest into Weedy just to get the best out of her. Not to mention that many stages simply don't have pits for pushing into. Good, but limited use in my opinion. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates, I also stream, and please check out my Arknights and Azure Lane videos as well. There will be a teaser out tomorrow for next week's character summaries.